continue to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncer's gilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV. I'm here in Manchester, the home city of Ben Shalom himself. Ben, huge fight week, the rematch. I've been looking forward to this since January, since the fight happened. So, man, you must be excited about this fight week.
Yeah, it feels like it's the 5th time we promoted this fight. I think the first one people remember was meant to actually be in December, ended up in January. Rescheduled. We're here now. Both fighters have worked incredibly hard to be here. Liam's worked really, really hard. I think when you get an injury at that point in your career, you worry. But he's ready. And Chris Eubank Jr, fair play, this is a fight that he wanted. There were other opportunities for him, there were other options, not just Conor Benn to make more money, but this was the fight that he wanted from January. He activated the clause now back in February, and yeah, I can't wait, and yeah, amazing that we're here now.
Obviously Eubank, the trainer, changed 6-7 weeks out before the fight. Can Bomac, I know he's a talented, obviously what he's done with Terence Crawford and all these guys and Shakur Stevenson, all them, can he make a big difference with only 6 weeks with Chris?
You know what, the first fight, I think everyone was surprised that not Liam Smith winning, but the manner of it. And for me, that said there was something wrong with his conditioning, there was something wrong with his preparation. And you only have to look at the year prior to the fight, everything that went on, the weight cuts, 2 camps back to back. The last fight was Liam Williams, and so I think he's done it more not to try and learn new tricks at this stage of his career in 6 weeks, as you say, 7 weeks, but to actually come in with a disciplinarian that's going to make sure he trains twice a day, that's going to make sure he eats the right thing, that's going to make sure he's well conditioned, because he's not 25 anymore, and he wants to be the Chris Eubank Jr that we always loved and watched, and was resilient and could take a lot of punishment. And if we get that on Saturday, we've got a crazy hell of a fight.
Liam Smith, man, obviously he's ranked highly in 3 governing bodies. I think 2 of the WO at 160, WBA and IBF have him at 4 at 154 though. You're looking at Liam, he's a big solid unit at 160, so where do you think his weight class is?
I think he's comfortable at middleweight now. I've spoke to him before this, and I think he when we first made this fight, you know, even Liam was talking about it. Will there be a catch weight? Will there not? And then obviously it was at middleweight, especially after what happened in the weight cut for the Conor Benn fight that didn't happen. And yeah, he's really comfortable. He feels big. He feels strong. He still has to work hard to make the weight. I know he's working incredibly hard this week to make the weight. And I think this is where he is at this stage of his career. To go back down, for me, he's a middleweight now. He's shown that he can do serious damage at this weight. He'll want to do that again on Saturday, and he wants to become a 2-time world champion and hopefully a 2-weight world champion. And yeah, that'll top off an unbelievable career.
Down the card, Michaela Meyer. She's got a tough fight ahead of her. I forgot the Sylvia. I forgot the name, but tough opponent. But there's a lot of chatter about the Natasha Jonas fight. You put this, she's right there, Michaela there. There's a lot of talk about the Natasha Jonas fight being happening and so forth. So she gets through this. Is that how you're going to go forward?
Yeah, it initially came about because Caroline Dubois wanted to fight her, and she still does, but it seems like Michaela wants to compete at welterweight. We've got Lauren Price and Tasha Jonas in that division. Obviously, Tasha Jonas, world champion now at welterweight as well, but that's why she's over here. Phenomenal talent and a great star. The numbers she does is incredible, and yeah, massive fights to be made. Hopefully Caroline gets her wish as well. I'd love to see Caroline get a fight with Meyer as well, and she's obviously can fight at 140, wouldn't go up to welterweight, so it'll be up to Michaela, I think, where she fights after Saturday. I think she's fighting at 141, 142. No, I think so on Saturday, so she can obviously do both. I can see maybe why she wants to avoid Caroline, but let's see, massive fights to be made.
Dave Allen returns. I mean, I've missed the big man. I really have. Again, he's on your left-hand side. I shouldn't need to watch what you say. He's up against Fraser Clark. Tough test for Fraser Clark. I said that Fraser's got the amateur experience, but Dave Allen's got the professional experience in terms of who he's been in with. White, Yoka, Price, all the guys. He's beat good wins against Nick Webb and Lucas Brown, so he definitely has the experience when it comes to the pro ranks. What kind of fight can we expect?
He looks in good shape, doesn't he? I mean, Look, it's a risk for Fraser because it's almost a no-win situation. He's got to show his levels above Dave Allen if he wants to go on and do the things that he wants to do in the sport. But speaking to Jamie Moore yesterday, I was with him in the gym, and this is the fittest he's felt in 5 years. This is going to be the best Dave Allen that can possibly come in. But yeah, Fraser Clark needs to show his levels. It's the biggest profile fight Fraser's been in, and that's what Dave has on him. I think Dave's been under the bright lights. Dave been on box office before, been in the big fights, hugely popular guy. Fraser's going to have to get used to it, and that's why I think it's a perfect fight for Fraser to feel the pressure. But he's got to perform.
That's it. That's the 3 fights that's probably up there on the card. But there's Lauren Price on the card. There's Florian Marco against Dylan Moran. There's some Adam Azim as well. The exciting prospect. Is he a prospect still? I don't know. But I mean, the card is on fire for Saturday night.
Yeah, it's one of our best. I have to say, Adam Azim in a very, very tough test. That was going to headline in June against Aaron Fanian, who is seriously up for this fight. It's a big test. We needed a test. We want to make sure Adam fights for a European title next. He wants to become a world champion. He wants to be at that level in the next 12-18 months. So he has to move quickly. Again, another test for him to see how he performs on such a big stage. Chief support on Saturday night is a massive thing for him. But we have so much belief in him, so much faith. I think that last fight against Santos Reyes, for me, we know how talented he is, but the fact that he had a hand issue, the fact that he had to go the 10 rounds, the fact that he was headlining, and the way he dealt with it, he was calm in the ring against a very solid, a very good opponent. That gave us a lot of confidence. That gave Shane the confidence. Not only is he there physically, not only has he got the talent, not only is he doing what he's doing in the gym, but mentally he's ready, mentally he's there, and that'll be what Saturday night is about for him as well.
I've got to ask, I wouldn't be doing my job obviously. Eddie Hearn, he's had them drug tested, 4 drug tests. You've had Hellenius failing, Conor Ben a year ago. He's had Alicia Baumgardner, but he's saying that he's testing more than every other promoter. What yourself, Ben Shalom and Boxer, what are you doing in terms of the testing and stuff like that? I know we have UCAD and that, but you yourself have spoke to me previously on interviews. You're saying that we need to do more. So what were you doing as well as Eddie Hearn that we can nip this in the bud and get these people caught and get them out of the sport?
The only thing that has to happen is a unified body that drug tests. The problem with VADA, and as we've seen with jurisdiction issues and who can do what, there is a problem. Even obviously now this is drug-free sport and everything else. There needs to just be one, and then every fighter needs to sign up, and it needs to be invested in by the promoters and the governing bodies, and it needs to be unified and uniform. What the rules are when we get the test results. If it's tested on a Friday, we know before he fights. Isn't that the point of a drug test? And that's what needs to change. It's very difficult for the promoters to have all their different ideas and everyone doing different things. This is one sport. Everyone needs to be tested in exactly the same way. There needs to be well funded, and there needs to be clear rules as to what happens when you fail a drugs test. That's the biggest issue, but both fighters have been tested in the lead up to this. As always, these two are exemplary professionals. Both fighters will be tested this week and after the fight, but yeah, for me, uniform body needed.
One final one then, back to this card. Again, I mean, you know me, I'm a fight fan. I love these fights, and I'll get excited. I'm more of a fan than I am a media guy. I'm just an idiot with a camera and a microphone.
I remember out in Poland, it was a tough gig, but you absolutely loved it.
No, thanks very much, Ben. I do love the sport, but I mean, this is Sky Sports box office. The MEN Arena is a fantastic arena. I mean, it's going to be packed out again. So what can we expect, not just from the main event, but the card itself? What can we expect?
Yeah, look, the Manchester fans for me are the best in the UK. They always come out early. We've done so many shows here now. I was speaking to the general manager. I think we've done more shows than anyone in like any artist, anything in the past 2 years. So it's been incredible. But yeah, we've had some special nights. But the first fight in January, the atmosphere. And I always thought I could never top Calmbrook for atmosphere. That was a special, magical night, to be honest. But this in January was huge. Anyone that was there will always remember that. I expect a similar atmosphere on Saturday. I expect a better one. I think it's a better card. Even on that night, they were in from 8 p.m, 7 or 8 o'clock, and yeah, we got great fights all the way through. Lauren Price in a good fight against Alita Mazea. She's actually coming back. She's had people don't realise sometimes what boxers go through behind the scenes. She's had a personal, very, very hard personal problem to deal with in the past few weeks. Credit to her. She just wanted to get back in the ring, shake the cobwebs off, and then she'll go again. And so she's on the card. Obviously, Dylan Moran, Florian Marco, both amazing fights that start early. It has to be one of the best cards we put on, and yeah, Manchester's going to be incredible on Saturday night.
Ben, I can't wait. I'm excited. Listen, thank you so much. You've got plenty more media to do, and I do appreciate your time as always. So thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much. Thank you.
To not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.